it's not like the money or like getting the cool cars or getting to ride, like meet famous people. It's just like the whole picture. It's like, this is the world that you've created.
Yeah, it's
like,
nuts.
I was just getting started when I was your age. I couldn't imagine what it's like when you're 23.
Does money buy happiness?
I made a whole movie about this, but my summation of that movie was that when you have money, David. You still have problems in life. We have problems in life. Everybody in this room is, except for Dima. Everybody in this, except for Dima and Natalie. No, what I mean is like when you get to a point in life where you've got enough money, so you can pay your rent. You don't have to worry about it. You pay for food. You don't have to worry about it. When you have money, you still have problems.
Yeah.
My wife and I have trouble. Like, we're parenting kids is hard. I broke my shoulder. Like, I have real problems in life that I have to overcome. But when you don't have money, there's only like one problem. And that's the money thing. Does that make sense? Like,
yes.
I don't know if I'm articulating that right, but like, when you're broke, money will solve all of your problems. Like, I was so poor when I started. So like, look, like when I had a kid when I was very young, and when I had a kid, like, we were on welfare. And if I didn't get diapers and milk from the government for free, like, my kid wouldn't have had milk and I wouldn't have had diapers to put him in. Like, I was that poor. So like, I have a real appreciation for it. And at that point in my life, money would have solved every one of my problems. Every problem I have. So like, does money buy happiness? It's like,
no, because you get new problems.
You get new problems,
the money.
But the fact that those problems aren't connected to something that's like you can stare down every day, it's a really different perspective on life.
Yeah. I think the way I answered yesterday is like the top % of the world that are the wealthiest are definitely not the happiest, but also the bottom, the most poor people in the world are also not the happiest either. So I think it's just to each his own. To every person is different, whether you have a lot of money or not. You saw the problem. So that question is just kind of weird.
We were in $100 million house last night, or David thought 80 to 100.
Yeah,
right?
so the house was like 80 to 100 million, and I was talking to this guy's friend. I was like, so this house, it's huge. It's in the middle of Beverly Hills. Like, I mean, like,
yeah, it is the most prime spot. It's like on a cul-de-sac. It is the street in Beverly Hills. Like
20 bedrooms. Like, there was more staff at the party than there were attendants. Like, it's fucking huge. And I was talking to the guy's friend, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is it like living here? Like, what is this concept? And he's like, I hear his parents on the phone, like, once a month, talking to the neighbors and acquiring houses next to them so they can just knock it down and build a fence further just to extend their property. And he was telling me that every time they buy a new house next door, it's $30 to $40 million just so they can expand their square footage a little bit further. Like, that's crazy.
Does that make, so here's like, does it make you happier? Like, I think there's a real point of diminishing return when it comes to money, especially wealth.
Sure.
Like, I know, like, when I was that poor, all I fantasized about was like, I want to own a jet. I want to own a yacht. I want to drive like the fanciest cars in the world. I want all these things. And the minute I could afford food and didn't have to think about paying rent, I immediately stopped being motivated by money. Like, I just don't care. I'm motivated by, like, I want to have fun. I want to be healthy. I want to spend time with people I like. Like, it goes, like, there's no way that them extending their property line an extra 30 feet, like, increases their happiness.
Yes, but I feel like it's just a hobby at that point. It's just like a statistic.
It's just an insane.
It's a lot to us, but to them, it's literally like me spending $1,000 on getting, first class on a trip. But it's insane. Like the different levels of like wealth there is, and it's just it
and
blows my mind.
for your audience, like, we're in Los Angeles, which is like, there's such weird kind of money and wealth here that you're confronted with every day.
It is the weirdest thing. You have very, very extremely poor people, and then you have the fucking top like richest people.
Yeah, and that's a really weird thing to reconcile.
Casey, one of the craziest realizations of, wow, fucking money is insane, is when I went to visit you in your hotel room at VidCon when I like first met you, and I asked you to grab a water from your hotel like little room. And I asked you, I was like, do I Venmo you? Like, do I PayPal you? Like, first I asked if you had cups so I can like fill up tap water. But you're like, just grab it from the mini fridge. And that was fucking insane to me. I was like, you want me to go in the mini fridge? I'm going to pull out a water. It's going to charge you $6 for something I'm doing. And you don't want me to pay you back? That was crazy to me. And that was like such a big goal of mine. When I saw you do that, I was like, holy fuck. Like, I want to be able to have that kind of freedom. Like the fact that I could be in an airport with Natalie. This is my favorite. And I go, Natalie, can you go get me some waters? Like, go get get me 6 waters because it's going to be a long trip. And then I'm not thinking about each water being charged on my credit card, like, is the most, like, freeing feeling I experience. It's just, like, the financial freedom of just being able to, like, be comfortable wherever I'm at.
When you were doing your 800 days, were you chasing money or fame or making followers? What were you after?
No, I don't know. I mean, look, I started it because I just started my tech company.
Right.
And I wanted a way to like share what I was doing in my tech company. I needed an audience to care about what I was doing. So I was like, I'll start a reality show about my tech company. But it turns out 5 dudes that are like computer programmers writing code in a room is not good content. And that's when like day one, I was like, no, I have to make this about me, but
Right.
I didn't monetize my channel or any of my content for a while.
Really?
Yeah, because I wanted like YouTube for me. I didn't want it to be pure. It wasn't about making money. I didn't
What did you
care.
do for money?
I like directed TV commercials and things like that. I just didn't have much.
On top of vlogging?
Yeah, that's when I was like, I was in a lot of debt. Lived off my credit cards a lot. I remember like the summer before I turned monetization on my YouTube channel, and I only did it because someone was like, "You have no idea how much money you're leaving on the table." Before I turned it on, I was like $180,000 in debt, credit cards, personal loans.
Oh, and then you turned on ads, like monetization.
Yeah, and I remember like the first month it was like $8,000, and I was like, "Oh my!"
Wow.
I had no idea. I did 100 million views without monetization turned on.
Wow.